Alright, so the first topic I wanted to speak about was about regret. Regret, regretting things in life, stuff like that. Each certain ages, maybe you look back and you're like, wow, I regret not doing certain things when I was this age, or so have you, right? And I've been experiencing that quite a lot recently. Also, I'm sorry for the shit quality of the microphone. It's staticky, I know. So I'm sorry for my future self having to listen to me ramble and this, and you're thinking, why didn't this loser just get a new one instead of doing this now? I wanted to do it now, so yeah. Anyway, I turned 19 this month. I It is September of 2025, and I regret a lot. And I regret a lot to the point where it's kind of kickstarted this whole thing of what I wanted to do this for. Is because I wanted to look back to maybe have some clarity when I'm older, you know? But I feel like I wasted my teenage years, you know? Now that I'm in my last one, I feel like looking back at them, I wasted all of them doing nothing that I should have been doing, not doing the things that I wanted to do, not pursuing the things that I wanted to pursue, and maybe somebody else out there who maybe experience maybe even like 1% of this. You know, maybe this will make them feel better about it or not. I don't know. Um, I didn't go to high school. I was homeschooled for all of that time, so I didn't experience high school. I feel really stupid about that. You know, it wasn't entirely my decision, but I still feel like I had input and I chose wrong. You know, I never got to experience that, and it made me feel off. I don't feel like I'm like crazy. I don't feel like my mental health is as negatively impacted as I thought it would be a couple years ago. Right? I feel like I'm very self aware to the point where I can be like just like relax. Like, why are you feeling like this, or why are you thinking this, whatever. Um, and a big one was I didn't make barely any friends in when I was a teenager, right? And I feel like the ones that I did make, I probably didn't do a great job of being a friend to those people, you know? Um, Particularly in middle school, there was someone I was friends with, and I just wasn't a very good friend to him. Our friendship ended because of me, and I regret that heavily, you know? Another thing that I regret was relationships. I haven't been in many in my life. I've been in two, and one of them was good, one of them was not. The first one, I regret a lot of my time in. Not because I wish that it didn't happen, but because I wish that I spent it wiser, you know? I got into my first relationship when I was 15 and a half around that time. I really shouldn't have. I was not in the right headspace for it at all. I was totally just entering the relationship just to be like, yeah, I'm in a relationship, guys, to everyone that I was talking to. And it was stupid, and it wasn't fair on the girl that I was in a relationship with. And I've spoken to her since then, and I speak to her sometimes. We're not really close anymore, but like we've talked, and I've expressed my regret and my apologized to her for my actions of how I was. Now, I didn't do anything crazy or anything. I didn't cheat or I didn't do anything crazy to her. I was very immature and I was very emotionally unavailable. When I and before I got in that relationship, I never thought that that would affect me. I never thought that when people would say, "Oh, emotional unavailability," I'd be like, "That's nonsense. Like, what do you mean you're not available for this person emotionally? That's stupid as hell, right?" But I didn't realize that I was being like that in the relationship until she brought it up with me, and when she brought it up, I kind of didn't even understand what she was talking about because I was so caught up in my own head. We didn't break up because of that. We ended on pretty decent terms. That's why we still have talked up until this day, and I'm 19 now, so things didn't go horribly, but I wish that I could have done it better. Um, Another thing that I wanted to circle back on was friendships. Not because of not making friendships, but I regret not seeing when some people weren't actually my friend. Even when the signs were obvious, right? So there's been a couple people in my life where I've been friends with them, but it's very circumstantial, you know? It's not like, oh, like we're actually friends. Like it's the type of friends that you like, oh, you hop on the game with and you talk about the game, or you're just delved into the game, whatever. But you never can actually talk about anything personal with them. They never want to talk about anything personal with you. They're not interested in you as a person, really. And whenever you try and speak to them about anything remotely serious, they just don't want to do it. And there's a couple of people in my life where I've had stuff like that, and some of them I've stopped talking to, but some of them I haven't, and I feel like that's not good. And I feel like the longer that I continue being friends with people like that, the longer that it's just going to be wasting my time, you know? But there's been a couple people that I wish that I would have cut off sooner because I realized that they were like that and they just didn't want to actually be my friend. They were just bored or lonely, you know? Another thing that I regret was not progressing in life fast enough. I feel like I did everything one step behind everyone else around my age that I was close with. I got my license later than everyone else. I got my first job later than everyone else. I feel like I did everything later than everyone else, and the fact that I was not even in high school did not help me at all, you know? And I regret all of that. But the big thing about regret that I've learned, and the thing that I have catapulted me to want to make this the first one in this series, was the fact that I can't let regret have a chokehold on me anymore. I have to eventually let it go and move on and do new things or talk to new people. I kind of started thinking about this around 6 months ago, and I just started to think about everything that I regretted in my life, and for some reason, for the first time in a while, I stopped regretting it. It just wasn't in my thought process when I was thinking about it, and I was like, why does anything have a chokehold on me like this, you know? I can't let the things that didn't happen, you know, get in my head about, oh, where would I be at right now if they did happen, you know? Or anything like that. You know, something that my mom always said to me is, you know, control the things you can and let the things you can't go. And that's good advice when it comes to certain things, not others. Don't apply that to everything. I've heard that from other people, though. And I think that's good advice when it comes to stuff like regret, you know? You can't let things that happened in the past control your future. And I want to remind myself of that. And I hope that when I watch this in the future, I have the same thought process because I don't want myself to slip back into the feeling of almost dread of, oh, like, yeah, like whatever, but it could have been this way. Because what's the point in that, you know? There's nothing that I can do about that stuff. All that I can do now for the future is follow my instincts, follow my gut, do the things that I want to do now instead of prolonging them and, you know, wasting time. I need to stop wasting time, and then I regret the time that I wasted, you know? Because we all have limited time here, and it doesn't matter how young or old you are, we all have a clock. And I need to stop wasting time on that clock doing stuff that I don't want to do or stuff that I know that I'm going to regret. I hope that in the future, my future self can lock in, be serious, and think about what actually matters, which is the present and what you want to do in the future. So that's basically all I wanted to talk about for now. Yet again, I'm sorry to myself for this horrible mic situation. I'll get it figured out soon enough. Anybody else is watching this, thank you for watching. Maybe you gained a different perspective. Maybe we have the same perspective. Either way, I hope that you enjoyed listening to me ramble on about nonsense for however long this has been. So, yeah, see ya.